Let's kick off the second hour. We're going to stay here in Orlando, and we're going to talk to Donald. Donald, you've got a Lexus. Tell us what's going on with it.
The daytime running light on the driver's side is not working. I called Lexus, and they said, well, the only way to fix that is to take out the entire headlight assembly, and that'll cost you $3,000.
Yeah. Depending on the assembly itself, Donald, what we wind up doing is sometimes it's just a control module that goes bad on them, and we can replace control modules. See, in the aftermarket, we have, let's see, how do you say this? We have ways of fixing things that the manufacturer or the dealer doesn't have access to. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. Believe it or not, us old hillbillies chew a little tobacco from time to time can fix just about anything, as opposed to having to replace the whole entire car to get a headlight working. It's the aftermarket is, folks that have came up with ways to fix things, as opposed to cleaning your clock, let's say. We try to keep these cars on the road at an affordable price, as opposed to $3,000 headlights. And what you're dealing with here is no different than what anybody with a BMW or a Mercedes or any of your other Highline cars. Some of these vehicles, your Lexus, they have, the full functioning headlights to where they actually turn left and right when you turn your steering wheel. They're completely adaptive headlights. They go up and down depending on the road surfaces. I mean, they're very, very sophisticated. And then when you get something like a daytime running light that's not working in it correctly, they want to replace, half the car, it seems like, or $3,000. Worst case scenario, Don, what we would do is, if we can't fix the one that you have, which there's very few that I can't fix, most of them I can, we would wind up looking for a used one if we needed to get it back up and operable. But I would need to see the car. But folks, everybody runs into this on these newer vehicles. If you get the $3,000 headlight treatment at your local dealer, give me a holler, email me, whatever. Let me see what I can do. I know I can do you. I know I can get your stuff up and working for a whole lot less than a $3,000 headlight. We had one gentleman that was a gentleman I fish with from time to time. His son came in with a C-Class Mercedes, and both headlights were bad. And he came back from the dealer, and they had told him he needed to spend over $8,000 on new headlights. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was unbelievable. All was wrong with them was two control modules that we installed in both those headlights for less than $500 and had that thing working absolutely perfect, versus $8,000. Can you imagine that? I'm like, goodness gracious. But see, the parts to repair those headlights are not available through the manufacturer because they sell it as an entire assembly. So, when you get into situations like that, they don't want you to keep that car. They want you to run out there to the showroom and buy you another one, over something as silly as a headlight not working. Can you imagine that? Don, you give us a holler at the shop if we can help you with this, or email me, Larry at magicmechanic.com, and give me all the particulars on the car, year, make, and model, and what side headlight you having a problem with. And I'll see what I can do, and if it's worth your time, you get a hold of me and let me know, and we'll try to get the thing fixed for you.
I have a yes or no question for you.
All right.
I got 130,000 miles on the water pump on this car. As a preventive maintenance item, should that be replaced now?
What series Lexus is this, Don?
LS 460.
LS 460. I know that car pretty good because I own one. Let me tell you what. I'll bet you the water pump isn't dripping, but if I was to hold a mirror under that water pump, the actual vent in the bottom of it, I will bet you there is red coolant fuzz literally growing out of it. It's probably, well, because of the age, it's due. It's due. It's probably due to have the water pump replaced. It's not dripping or pouring yet, but it's probably got some early signs of seepage. Most of them do at about that age. And, it'd be a good time to go ahead and look at the belts and hoses and that sort of thing as well. But those are fantastic cars. I mean, I don't know of any vehicle that outrides a LS 460. I mean, that's why the wife uses one in her real estate business, and she runs the wheels off of that thing. And they're beautiful luxury cars, and you can keep them running and keep them on the road cheaper than a Kia or a Hyundai. So I'm like, that's about as perfect of a vehicle as you could ever engineer, in my opinion. So yeah, it's time to, if it needs it, hey Don, it's probably worth giving it a little love and keeping it around. I don't know that a person could lubricate one of those correctly and ever wear one out. I'm that adamant about that car. They're fantastic vehicles, and I appreciate your call.